And welcome to A Shitload of Sports. I am Joe Pietaro, publisher of Muscle Sport Magazine, and he is fucking Keefus, my right-hand fucking man, my sports junkie buddy.
Well, where's my left hand right now? Between two.
That's
pillows.
why I'm sitting on this side, closer to his left hand. That's why I'm smiling. But we did the AL preview on the last episode, and this is kind of the part due of it, if you will, of the senior circuit, since we did the junior circuit. And we had teased it a little bit at the end of the AL episode, saying that the AL went kind of predictable, kind of as planned, kind of what we kind of figured going back to the beginning of the season when we did our previews. Mm-hmm. The National League was anything but that, outside of a couple of teams here and there. But for the most part, the NL, topsy-turvy.
Oh, well, there were two teams that we predicted that would be out of the six that are going to make it.
But one of them might not even win a division.
Out of the five, excuse me. Yeah,
the Cubs. Everybody. Oh, the Cubs, easy. Central runaway.
Or the Dodgers.
Or the LA. Yeah. So there's two divisions still at stake, and obviously somebody's going to be left at the altar out of these four teams.
Yes.
For the 5 teams, 4 spots,
yes.
Because you got the 2 wild card and you got the Central and the West. So where do you want to start?
We'll start with the Braves because they got it locked up out of nowhere. Upstart Atlanta Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr., Freddie Freeman led.
Freddie Freeman had, oh my God, what a fucking talent, man.
Yeah,
Acuna's probably going to win the ROY. So
yeah, absolutely. He's the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
I would say without a doubt. But yeah, Freeman, got a great year out of Kurt Suzuki, Ozzie Albus, Dansby Swanson. These are
guys you never even hear these guys.
And then the guy who is my prediction for underrated Hall of Famer coming up. And I mean underrated guy you didn't think was going to make the Hall of Fame. This guy's going to make the Hall of Fame because he's going to stick around because he's in great shape. He's going to play to 40-41. That's Markakis.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you
why. Great catch
why.
Last night against the Mets.
I'll tell you why. He is A+ outfielder, A+ outfielder, A+ arm, and he's got close to, let's see, I'm going to go to his hits. He's close to 2,300, if not over 2,300 hits. Let's check it out right now.
So he's going to get that 3,000.
If he sticks around and hits 100, gets 150 hits.
Name a movie after him.
Yeah.
That's the 3,000.
If he gets 150 hits for the next 6 years, he's over 3,000.
He's young. What is his age?
He's 34.
Oh, he's okay. I thought he was younger than that. But still, I mean,
yeah,
150 hits is,
especially if he goes back to Baltimore and does like a DH role.
Doesn't Holiday?
Yeah. I mean, is that a compiler then? The way that people say, well, he compiled his stats, but no, look what he does now. He's hitting over 300.
No, the guy's a solid player.
And if these guys go past the first round, he's the one leading them. Him and Freddie Freeman are the leaders.
He was in the playoffs.
And they're leading the young guys in, a la Carter and Hernandez.
Yes.
So, but can't say enough good stuff about Atlanta. They really turned it around and
never
turned it
thought
around
a million
quick.
years. They did say they wanted to have put the team together and win when they opened the new stadium, but I don't even think that they expected this.
No.
They did make some moves the last couple of years where they brought Kemp in and stuff like that, but then they got rid of those guys, and it looked like they were, going with the youth a little bit more.
And it paid off.
It did. It paid off, and they were able to
in spades.
And what is their record this year? I mean,
they have 89 and 61. They're going to win 91, 92 games.
I mean, I know the division was a big disappointment for obvious reasons. The two teams that we picked to do well sucked. Although
the Nationals have 81 wins.
Second half, both of them, it was too much ground to recover from. But the Atlanta is not a win by default team.
No.
If you got 90 wins in Major League Baseball,
you're not 83 and 78.
No, that's like the 73 Mets were they're lucky at the right time at the right place.
Yeah. So, and now we have the Central and the West.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the rest of the East while we can. Just why not? We're already there.
Yeah, no. That's.
You picked the Phillies, and you look like a genius for months.
And then the curse of Mike Schmidt came in, and I realized that Gabe Kaplan wasn't exactly Dallas Green, and the team just took a nosedive.
He was terrible at the beginning of the year, Kapler, and then all of a sudden the team started playing amazing. They were in first place for a while. It was them in Atlanta.
Nola was pitching real well. I mean,
Nola
Nola's still,
candidate.
he's a Cy Young candidate. He's not going to get it. But,
No.
He pitched real well. They had their young guy, Reese Hopkins. They had all their young guys. Everybody was clicking. They went out and they made moves, so you can't really say anything about it. They picked up Ramos and they picked up...
They picked up 2 guys from the Mets.
Yes.
Fucking Struble and then
Cabrera
the other
and
guy.
Batista.
Yeah.
So they went out. I mean, maybe if they would have got them in 2012, they would have played.
No, but those were 2 guys that Batista was doing pretty good with the Mets. First, he was terrible with Atlanta. He got cut. Mets signed him. He couldn't hit his weight. Then all of a sudden, he got hot.
Right.
And that's when his value is his highest. But then around the deadline, he started to slump again. Right. And I don't know what he's done with Philly, but Cabrera was very valuable for the Mets.
No, he
could play a lot of positions
for the last few years.
Yeah, no, those were smart veteran pickups.
Yes.
For backup guys that could play many positions.
But they just they took a nosedive. They went backwards pretty quick. I mean, they're below 500 now.
That's amazing. I thought, okay, they're going to miss the playoffs, but at least if they finish in second, Nationals overtook them.
Yeah, Nationals are 81 and 78. So even if they win their last 4 games, you get 85 wins. That's not a terrible season, but they were supposed to win 95.
Let me tell you though, I was thinking of this morning. It's a lot of times when you see a final score, XFL, 24-17, and you're like, wow, that was a close game. You're like, no, if you watched it, you would have seen they scored garbage time points. Right. They did an onside kick. The other team fumbled at their own 10. That was dominated all day long by the fucking Memphis Maniacs. The Hitmen sucked the whole game. But the final score was not indicative of the season. Right. That is the Nationals record. They were terrible this year.
Yeah, they bumped it up towards the end.
Bryce Harper was acting like a 3-year-old for the last month, throwing his bat and helmet when he popped up.
Yeah,
and they were killing him against the Mets, the booth. My favorite booth in baseball, by the way.
That is a fun
fucking
booth.
Keith Darling and Cohen are fucking phenomenal. They were shredding Bryce, and rightfully so. Especially Keith Hernandez, because he's known to, he did some stupid things as a player too when he was frustrated. Smoking, drinking, cocaine, I'd do cocaine if I wanted, if I was his mayor. So they were like, is this going to hurt his market value as a free agent? I don't know who'll know, but it seemed like he
had a 244,
his batting
34,
average was terrible.
244, 34, 100.
In the free agent market, you're gonna that's 280 to you, because all you seeing is MVP, rookie of the year kind of guy.
Now here's Scherzer's 18 and 7. Everybody else on the team: Tanner Roark 9 and 15, Gio Gonzalez 7 and 11.
Wow.
Strasburg 9 and 7. So much for my pick for Cy Young.
Didn't he get hurt earlier on?
Yeah, Hellickson 5 and 3. These are not sure. If not for Scherzer, they're not even close.
Yeah, but big disappointment out of Gonzalez. Yeah. You expect more from him, especially because doesn't have a lot of pressure on him.
Right.
He's the number 3 when Strasburg's in there, so he should not be.
And he went from there. He was originally their number 1 when Strasburg was young before they got Scherzer.
Yeah, when they got him from the Marlins originally. Yeah, but the Nationals are going to finish in second. Like I said, not indicative of the season they had. They were my pick to make the Fall Classic and lose to the Yankees, so obviously I was wrong. But if you look, they're only X amount of games out, I'll be the first to admit. They were not a factor the whole year. My next team that I picked to make the wild card, the New York Mets, and that wasn't a hard pick. That was a head pick. I picked that legitimately and objectively. The Mets had an 11-1 start. They had a fucking May and June. Yeah, they just. They had games where I think they got shut out like 2 out of 3 and stuff. They did not hit at all. Their pitching wasn't bad at the beginning of the year. The bullpen was fucking lights out, and then it couldn't get it out.
Yeah.
The starters were pretty good throughout most of the year. It wasn't a starting pitching problem. It was an offensive problem and a bullpen problem.
And I would say more the offense than anything.
They could not
get points on the board.
No, they had too many holes. Once Cespedes went out, their whole offense went out. Conforto had a terrible start. You rely on him a lot.
Nimmo was in and out with injuries.
But I'm going to say one thing about the Mets. and me and you disagreed on this. I was glad they held on to all their arms at the deadline because you build a team around pitching, and these guys are still young enough and they're still under some control where they're not gonna I think that they should have even kept Harvey and then traded him at the deadline. I think they didn't get enough for Harvey, in my opinion, because they fucking blackballed him and the Reds knew they couldn't command a lot. To me, what the Mets are smart to do is they were playing the young guys. Dominic Smith. I'm the biggest critic of Dominic Smith. I couldn't stand him. He's been hitting great the past 2 weeks.
Well, he lost a ton of weight.
Well, he looks like he put a little bit back on, too, though. He didn't look... He was chugging a second on a double last night. He didn't look like he was fucking,
It's that fucking Mama's in there.
He eats the greatest sandwiches in the history of baseball stadiums.
You should throw out the bread and just eat the colors.
La Tassini, the real store.
Yeah,
the real store. I've been a million times. Right? So, you have Dominic Smith, you have McNeil, who's kind of like the new Daniel Murphy. Mm-hmm. I think Rosario had a pretty good year. You want more out of him. His numbers were lower. You want more, better on base percentage.
But he played all year long.
He played all year long. He wasn't a dick either.
And he got on base.
He got on base. Third base, Frazier's got another year. He's a fucking stopgap guy. But for the most part, the Mets, Nimmo established himself. They have a huge hole behind the plate. Center field, if Cespedes is still out, you're still shy in outfield. I do like Nimmo, I do like Conforto. Austin Jackson was a fucking Band-Aid kind of guy. He's not coming back. Jay Bruce. Well, you gave him a lot of money. You gotta use him now. And they're playing him at first and right field.
I rarely admit I'm wrong. That's not right. I'm wrong all the time. You were right to hold on to these guys because now I think they're a catcher and a big right-handed bat away
from contending
again because of that staff, and they're more attractive to a Machado than, and that's I think they got
Machado right at third base.
You put Machado at third base.
Bat him
tell
clean
Frazier,
up.
Sorry, see you later. You have to move Bruce to first. You got to say, you're playing first, pal.
Smith will get his at bats. Bruce is going to need
Smith
days
stays
off.
on the bench.
The only problem is they're both lefties. That's the only thing. You can't platoon because they're left-handed.
If Cespedes comes back, and hopefully he does, he's in left field. I think you get a Wilson Ramos. You get someone out there who's available as a catcher to come in to offset Pilecki, because obviously, I don't know what's going on with Darno.
I think they're going to let him walk. His injuries, if he's going to be he'll be a flyer, a team, somebody like, a young team, like a shit team like the Orioles will give him a 1 year minimum deal and see if they can,
Maybe he goes back to Toronto. Who knows?
Yeah, he just, that guy was... Baseball, what's the baseball newspaper that picks the minor leaguers, and I can't think of the fucking baseball, whatever. It's some baseball publication.
Not Mike Lupica's failure. The National?
No, fuck Mike Lupica, that liberal piece of shit. Baseball
Prospectus.
Yes, thank you. Baseball Prospectus had him as like one of he was going to be like fucking
and Syndergaard was throwing. And Syndergaard was throwing.
He actually was a throwing, believe it or not. He was like 18, 19 only. Noah Syndergaard. Who's my pick for the Cy Young? Obviously, I was wrong about that. I should have said DeGrom.
You
had a shot.
Maybe you did say DeGrom. I don't know.
No,
you said him back.
Let's go to videotape. Fucking Warner Wolf. But all right. So basically, we spent a little time on the East that we probably shouldn't have. So let's move on to.
If you had the Syndergaard and the Cy Young, you lost.
I love Warner Wolf.
If you had the Jets at 50 points, you lost.
Richard Todd, 5 interceptions.
All right, in the Central.
Still,
it's a 3-horse race.
It's like this.
Really, it's Chicago and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a half a game out.
I can't believe that.
I mean, they've both of them have clinched the playoffs.
Yes, yeah.
St. Louis,
that was my pick
your Redbirds
yeah.
are 87 and 72.
Another second half. They were terrible. They fired
Matt Carpenter. I had him on my fantasy football team. Like, the guy's batting 135. I got to release him.
If you had him on fantasy football, he was never going to see anything.
Fantasy baseball. I apologize.
Carpenter's fucking unreal this year.
I dropped him. Some guy picked him up. He had 30 home runs in like a fucking month.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Hold on to those lefties.
Yeah.
But they're quirky.
He basically plays every position, too.
And I saw a nice little behind the scenes with him. He's a funny fucking guy, too.
And he gets on base.
He gets on base. So that's going to be that's obviously you could get 3 teams out of that.
Well, here it is. It's Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis. Chicago and Milwaukee have clinched. So they're going to the playoffs.
St. Louis is not.
So the question is if it's either St. Louis, Colorado, and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Colorado is up a half a game on the Dodgers, 88-70, 88-71.
Can't believe that.
So between St. Louis, LA, and Colorado, someone's going to be out.
Somebody's going to be fucking watching.
I think it's going to be St. Louis, not because I want to fuck you on the thing.
Okay, no, well,
it's just
you go by the schedule.
They go by the schedule.
They have a tougher schedule. I saw that. Yeah.
And their staff is not. But again, Colorado.
Colorado at home? Are they at home to finish? Because
yes.
Yeah, that's.
And do the Dodgers fall off?
Imagine that. It's
going.
They have not clinched yet.
No.
The Dodgers should have ran away with that Western Division. Colorado hung around, and then they just they started winning, and the Dodgers started.
Especially when the Diamondbacks, who were leading the division, who was my pick to.
Yeah, they were.
They were
your wild
card. They fell off, and once they fell off, it was the Dodgers. Just all you had to do was go 500, and they couldn't even do that.
Colorado just kept chipping at that.
Yep.
They chipped away at that fucking lead. It was 4.
Because you know what I noticed? I noticed that in L.A., they were sitting Matt Kemp a lot, Cody Bellinger. They were resting their guys consistently.
Oof,
I noticed it in fantasy
day
baseball.
game after a night game, Valentine and Piazza.
They were really sitting their guys a lot and losing those games. So I don't know if that, obviously I think that had a lot to do with their, not being able to string together 5-6 wins and really pull away.
Yeah.
But what happens now? Can Dave Roberts get them to, turn it into another gear for these last 4 days? And then they'll also have the ability to go on a run then after that. If the Dodgers were,
we've seen them do it before.
They
got the experience.
They're the defending National League champs.
No, definitely. I do think it's going to end. I think the Cubs won a division. Milwaukee, wow. If you're a Milwaukee Brewer fan, you got to be thrilled.
Christian Yelich, they're talking about him for MVP.
He just another game-winning hit he had a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
They've really had an exciting season. I think it'll be Dodgers and Colorado. I think, like you, St. Louis will be left out in the cold. Only because Colorado at home is a big difference. I think their home field advantage, it has a little more to do than just fans yelling louder.
Yeah.
Because of the fucking altitude and shit. But so let's look at the playoff. We're basically gonna have to just take a kind of stab at who we think's gonna be wild card.
Well, it's gonna be
Colorado and Milwaukee. We'll go with that.
I'll go with Colorado and Milwaukee.
Okay.
With the Dodgers winning the division.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So you would have then Milwaukee would play Colorado. I got to go with Milwaukee.
They're at Milwaukee.
At Milwaukee, you got to go with Milwaukee.
Yeah,
and then Milwaukee would go play the Cubs
because they're the wild card. It's the same thing like the Yankees and the Sox.
And Atlanta would play the Dodgers.
So I'm going to go with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Atlanta, it's house money right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's major league house money.
And that's a long trip to take.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You're going coast to coast.
It's a short series.
The only thing is that it's south. It's not like New York to L.A. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with the Dodgers, and I got to go with the Cubs. I think they'll right the ship. They never in a million years did they expect to be fighting to win that division, especially when they were up by, I don't know, they were comfortable at one point, weren't they?
I agree.
They weren't looking in the mirror.
I want to go crazy for Milwaukee, and I want to give it to them, but I think the talent on the Cubs is just too good.
Yeah.
I think they can turn around, and Schwarber, Rizzo, Bryant, and Baez can take control of a series with their bats.
I mean, they have been. I mean, they won the World Series.
And the Brewers, unfortunately, other than Shashin, the Brewers don't have.
Shashin?
Yeah, other than the Cuomo family.
No, I mean the Cubs are the fucking They're the Showtime kind of team right now.
And then here we are back with Cubs and Dodgers.
Cubs and Dodgers. Now, I'm going to say
Was
Cubs.
it 1974? 77?
Rick Monday?
Ron Say?
The Cubs, to me, I think the Dodgers are going to get a lot taken out of them by holding on and winning this division, and then I don't think Atlanta's going to give them a hell of a lot of a fight, but I don't think they're going to sweep them either. Mm-hmm. They could go 5 or 6. I think the Cubs might have a tougher divisional series with the Brewers because they're a better team than Atlanta, in my opinion. But I think the Cubs and I think they're going to get the Dodgers, and they're going to get a weakened team that has got not a lot of breath left for that stretch run. It's like that mile and a half at Belmont. You know, you got a fucking horse that looks great, and all of a sudden that last quarter mile,
turn,
boom.
Big Sandy eats you up. Big Sandy will eat you right the fuck up.
So I think it's going to be Cubs and Sox, which would be a fucking, that's one for the ages, guys.
It could be 2018, it could be 1918.
It could be 1918, yes. Cubs and Sox. And then
now, mind you, I had the Cubs.
You had the Cubs over the California Angels.
The LA Angels, who I looked fucking great.
Oh, you did?
I looked great
until that little fuck got hurt.
Until Ohtani got hurt. And then,
I was like, how did you pick the Angels? They're fucking playing great.
I got Marty McFly's future.
So we'll come back to the World Series wins after Keefus does his playoff picks. But I think Cubs versus Red Sox is classic as you. It's like Cubs in Cleveland was. It was great. That was a great series for purists like myself.
I don't have to do the picks. I agree with you 100,000%. So
wow,
all the way across.
So you think it's going to be Chicago and the Sox? I got to go Sox. I don't even think it's going to be close. I think the Cubs are going to be beat up by the time they get there. And I think the Sox, yes, they're playing tough teams if they play the Yankees and the Astros. I'm not giving them any fucking, pass on those teams. But I think that they'll have more rest than the Cubs, and I just think that they're a better team. You just go position by position, arm for arm. I like Boston.
The Cubs can win this.
Of course they can.
They can win this, but Joe Madden does something stupid and fucks it up.
He almost did something stupid against the Indians.
I don't trust him.
With Chapman.
He's gonna try to get cute, and he's gonna fuck up a rally, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Could you see the Cubs? I mean, it's the same thing. Nobody could pick the Sox winning in 04 and 07 either, so it's kind of similar now. Cubs won 2 years ago.
I could see
Cubs winning after 100 and something years, and all of a sudden now they fucking win 2 in the last run.
Like the Giants did too.
The Giants, yeah.
Giants won 3 in 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
I could see the Cubs winning, but I just see Madden, game 1 being up 3-0 or 3-1 and doing a fucking double switch or something stupid like that, taking somebody out and putting a pitcher in right field just so he can look funky and look like he's some sort of weird guru.
Smartest guy in the room, Joe Madden.
Yeah, exactly. And then that fucks it up, and then
I just think Price Sale. You had 2 left-handed pitchers are fucking hard to hit. Obviously, the Cubs, they got Murphy, they got Rizzo. So those are going to be great matchups that I got to give the edge to the pitchers because it's lefty-lefty.
Well, the pitching's going to get the edge here. And the reason why, other than the fact that they're great, look where you're playing in late October, early November. You're playing fucking Massachusetts and you're playing in Illinois. It's going to be cold as fuck.
Chili Davis, it'll be.
Their dicks are going to be in their bellies. That's how cold it's
yum.
Foot post type cold.
Oh, no. And you stand there because you're afraid you're going to get in trouble if you hide.
You stamp your feet like a fucking idiot.
You motherfucker. Everybody's like, what the fuck are they talking about? You're out in right field. Yeah. There's no cover for the wind. No. You're on Eastern Parkway.
On the Grand Concourse, like an asshole.
But yeah, it'll be tough. Obviously, pitchers have the advantage in the beginning of the season, at the end of the season, for that reason alone. Especially in the Northeast or the Midwest. You're playing in LA. Who gives a fuck? It's fucking hot as balls out there. But yeah, I just, to me, I think that the Cubs' big hitters, I know they have other hitters that are right-handed, but I look at fucking Rizzo, and obviously Murphy was a great pickup for them. So I just look at that they will be matched up well against those good left-handed Chicago hitters.
And Anthony Rizzo's father, the one that he actually reached out to me, Frank, called me all sorts of fucking names on the phone. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Rizzo.
Yeah, he apparently likes this, but he thinks I'm a jerk off. He said it a few times to me. He also said he was going to fucking split my head off the side of my
It was
ass.
a fucking ratchet or something.
Well, it was a mess.
Well,
so.
you should have picked the fucking Cubs because now you got to watch
Well,
your back.
I told him. I said, "Listen, guy, I picked in the National League."
Yeah, I gave you the flag. Leave me the fuck alone.
Said I should take a long drive to the cock like a man.
Yes. So that's pretty much it. That is our pick. We both think the Boston Red Sox, Keith's favorite team in the fucking Major League Baseball, they are going to win the World Series
This is hard.
over the
This
Cubs.
is hard, but what are you gonna do?
Hey, listen, you got you got to play with your head, not with your heart, like that old OTB fucking commercial. Even OTBs barely exist anymore. There's one in Nassau
And Suffolk.
Yes, there is. They closed one in Bayshore. I used to go there and play the Triple Crown all the time.
I
But
should take the train to the plane too.
take the train to the plane. Yes. That's going to do it for us on this episode of A Shitload of Sports. For the man, Keefus, this is Joe Pietaro. We shall see you next time.